Terence, Supreme Engineering News. Just on, during this transition process, maybe it's a question for the Minister, but the potential for the blurring of the corporate governance lines seems to be a bit of a risk. And I was just wondering how you're going to be managing that process. You have a task team set up with multiple players. You have a new board. You have a board with an executive chairperson. All these things are in somewhat conflict with the company's, the way the Company Act really wants these things to be done. And I was just wondering how you're going to ensure that there isn't that blurring of the lines, that the new board can be accountable to the company first.
Terence, the board has actually made a submission, and I appreciate that fact, that the board itself has made a submission to me for my consideration about how the better to mitigate the risk of the blurring of the lines as might happen, as you suggest. We had a precedent at Transnet where even as we appointed the new board, the CEO resigned, and the chairperson took over the responsibility, was given the responsibility by the board to act as chair, with that understanding that this was a 3-month process, that the new CEO would have to be appointed speedily within that period so that he or she assumes his duties immediately before the executive chair became too comfortable on the seat. We had dealt with it that way, with those firm and stringent time frames, because we did not want a situation which happened at ESCOM. And so we have our own family, our portfolio to learn from how to manage this. So we are applying our minds with regard to how do you ensure there is no blurring of the roles. There are various options which the board has presented to me. There are options which I also have. And we are going over the next few days to decide which of those is most appropriate.